Good day, YouTube. This is J Money with Falling Forward Financial. Since inflation and all that crap's going on, I thought I'd do a video on inflation. I come across this article and it looked kind of interesting. Been doing a couple videos about inflation, MJ legalization, and some other things here as of lately, and just kind of seeing what kind of views they get on them and things of that sort. Just kind of an experiment and just kind of seeing what happens with it. So pretty much since I started the channel, been talking about stocks, and that's about it. But with everything going on right now, it's kind of interesting to see what else is out there, which it all affects the stock market. So just the point that I'm trying to make, but we'll see what kind of reviews I get from this one, and in regards to see if I do any more of these in the future going forward. So like I said, just kind of a trial run on some of these. These are interesting information a lot of people need to know. So annual inflation hit 7.9%, the fastest rate since 1982. I hate to use the word amazing. I just can't think of any other word that's unfortunate. There you go. Consumer prices rose 0.8% in February and 7 to 9% over the last 12 months, according to the data released Thursday by the Labor Department. You can put who in the comments who we have to thank for this. I'll try not to mention it on doing this video, but I might have to release it. My opinion. The Labor Department's Consumer Index, a key gauge of inflation, showed price growth speeding up both monthly and an annual basis. Rising prices for gas, everybody's heard that and been complaining about it. Myself, I'm not pointing the finger, I do it as well. Housing and food drove most of February's inflation spike, the department said. Economists expected prices to rise roughly 7 to 9% on an annual basis and 0.6% between January and February. Annual inflation jumped to the highest rate since 1982 in February. And monthly inflation rose the first time since October of 2021. Rising prices for food, energy, shelter, and the list goes on. Recovery from the 19 pandemic. So combination, this is not what I'm talking about. Well, that does have a factor to pricing going up, but a certain person in office I feel has a lot to do with this, and in other words, starts with a D. A combination of labor shortages, supply chain disruptions, and swiftness in the economic recovery has fueled rapid price increases for essential goods as unemployment plunges close to pre-pandemic levels. Grocery prices rose 1.4% in February, which I've noticed alone, and are up 8.6% on the year. And a lot of that has to do with gas prices and whatever else affecting. The fastest annual increase since April of 1981, energy prices rose 3.5% last month, led by a 6.6% monthly increase in gas prices and 7.7% increase in fuel oil prices. Without food and energy, which are historically more volatile, the CPI rose 0.5% in February. The Federal Reserve is on track to hike interest rates next week as inflation steams well above the bank's annual target. Chairman Jerome Powell expressed confidence last week the bank would be able to raise rates and cool off inflation without denting a strong labor market. Only time will tell. War in Ukraine, feel free to go over that. I'm not going to go into that. Here's part of the reason and people that I'm talking about. Even with the war's unknown implications for inflation, rising prices are a growing political problem for this person and these people ahead of the midterm elections. So earlier I said about a person, and the other one starts with a D. Ahead of the midterm elections, voter approval with His handling or mishandling of the economy has fallen steadily amid increasing inflation, even after the U.S. economy added 6.5 million jobs last year, grew 5.7% in 2021. Skyrocketing inflation has compounded the difficulty to hire and retain workers amid a labor crisis. Record high energy prices have led the soaring overhead and shipping costs. America's small business are struggling to stock up their shelves, and the Democrats only care about pushing their wish list agenda. There's the D word, just in case you missed it. Republicans have blamed high inflation on the $1.9 trillion economic relief bill signed by this person roughly a year ago. While some economists say the stimulus checks include the package likely helped drive inflation higher. You think? It was only one of several factors fueling higher prices. There's many factors that this particular person has put into play, whether you look at it that way or not, that has drove things up. So, it doesn't affect him. It affects the middle class and lower class. Biden and Democrats have called high inflation a side effect of a surprisingly strong economic recovery. BS. Have expressed deep concern about the rising cost of living. Most of his party have pitched the $1.75 trillion, I can't even say this, I'm just going to say BBB plan, a BS plan, as a way to reduce prices, and instead it's worked the other way around. Particularly through investment is affordable housing, childcare, and lower drug costs, which I don't think any of those. Housings went up, childcare is definitely, I'm sure, up, and drug costs are always up. Even so, the bill is stalled in the Senate amid pushback from the moderates, such as this person, who have objected to spending more money amid high inflation. So, any comments, feel free to leave the comments. I'm sure they're going to be positive and negative. It doesn't really hurt my feelings what you leave in the everybody's entitled to their own opinion. That's how I look at it. So again, that's why I thought I would do this video, as it is kind of interesting in these times that we live in, and hopefully things will change this fall once the midterms, or whatever they're called, coming up in November will change, and hopefully that will be doing us some turnaround in the next two plus years until we see who gets in the office next time. So, but tried to stay positive on this one to a certain extent, but this is a topic on a lot of people's mind, wondering when it's going to turn and what will happen for tomorrow. And gas prices around here keep going up. When I filled up, I think it was $3.09, or maybe it was $3.19, and premium was $3.99. So, and you can leave gas prices in the comments if you want. That'd be interesting to see as well. Just list your state or wherever you're at. So, but that's it for this one. I'll be making some more stock videos. If I come across any more inflation type stuff, I'll try to do that as well. Just trying to get a feel for the listeners and subscribers and see what they're into. I know Meet Kevin gets into a lot of politics and all that type of stuff. I'm trying to stay away from that myself, but every once in a while it's kind of interesting to see something and get people's opinion. So that's why I'm trying this out and seeing how it goes. So, and again, if you haven't smashed that like button yet, go ahead and hit that for me, as well as subscribing and hit the bell so you're notified of when the next videos drop. Again, this is J Money, Falling Forward Financial. Happy trading, happy investing, stay green. Cheers.